Hi, everybody. Welcome to Pro World Live. I'm Danielle from Pro World.
I'm Kate.
Behind the camera, and we are here today to show you how to press these 40-ounce drinkware tumblers. These are all the rage right now. And you know what? If you can't find one to buy, why not make one? So that's what we're going to do today. And these are really great items to personalize. I'm sure that they will be like very easy sellers as well. And we're going to show you a couple tips and tricks on how to print them. We're using our TransPro Plus mug press, tumbler press. And yeah, we're going to get started. So if you are tuning in, let us know where you're tuning in from. We'd love to give you a shout out. And Kate's giving me like the thumbs up. We're good to go. All right. Okay, so I went ahead and we did a few samples. And a good thing to kind of keep in mind whenever you're doing a new product, if you have a larger order or if you just have an order for a couple, always get that 1 or 2 extra tumblers. It might be a little bit more expensive, but if you kind of factor that into your price point, that way, if you mess one up or if it doesn't look as amazing, you have an extra and you have a spare. So just keep that in mind. I actually printed about 3 of them, and on my 3rd one, it finally came out amazing. So I usually give myself a 1 to 2 before little trials before I actually get one that I really like. So these are kind of part of my, this one I did successfully, and this one's part of my oops, just kind of fine-tuning my settings. I found that pressing at 360 for 100 seconds is like my sweet spot for this tumbler press. So that's one of those things that you'll kind of have to sort of figure out on as you go and see what works best for you and for this tumbler and how you're going to do it. Okay, so the great thing about these particular tumblers is that it has this really chunky, fun plastic handle. Now, plastic not so good for a convection oven, but the great thing also is that these have screws at the bottom. So if you're doing a convection oven, or like today, we're gonna do a wrap that kind of gets close to the handle, we took the handle off. So that way we can kind of rotate it around and we can get closer to our mug press edge and have that, the edge of our tumbler be nice and vibrant and bright and not faded or ghost looking. So that is a great feature with these tumblers. Although it can come off, it comes off for a good reason and a good purpose to get a really nice print for you. Okay, Kate, do we have anything just yet before we kind of get started?
No questions, but everybody's tuning in, saying hi. So
all right. Well, hi, everybody. Thanks again for tuning in. And we're going to just hop right in. So I found these designs off of Etsy. I just typed in 40-ounce tumbler wraps and a bunch of them came up. So they have different ways to do it. You can either they have prints that go from this part. They have prints that go from like the curve section and then prints for the bottom. I particularly I couldn't do the curve section because we're using a mug press. If you're doing a convection oven, that's totally different. You could probably go ahead and get it so that it goes around the curve. But we're going to focus on this top half and then the bottom. I found 9 3/4 wide for the top and 9.5 for the bottom was my measurement that I needed. So, like I said, we've already taken off this handle, which is going to be great for us because we're going to come into the press. I didn't have to take these when I printed these. I didn't take the handle off. So you don't have to take it off when using the mug press. I took it off for this sample just to kind of try it and see how it works for the mug press for this round. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and set up my tumbler right here on my tumbler cradle. So that way it doesn't move around. I know, usually when I'm doing tumblers, I kind of find a spot on my lap and sort of rotate it around and get it to where I need, because on the table, forget it, it's rolling everywhere. So if you're like me and use your lap, get a tumble cradle. It changes from different sizes. I'll show you that a little bit later today. All right, Kate, we can go ahead and do the top there. All right, so I'm going to get super close to my print. And on the bottom, I'm just going to go right up to the print. So close at the top, go ahead and get to the print at the bottom. I'm just going to trim that. And again, I'm going to get close to my edge. And this design actually has a very light cream color in the background. So really it's quite forgiving if you get to the edges and you need, you didn't quite make it or whatever, or if it doesn't print quite right. The design that you pick, I think, is like the most important part when you're kind of figuring out how this goes. So for me, it was really important to get a design that stopped where I needed it to. So you can see it's going to stop right before it hits this kind of curve section, because I don't need it to go here at all. So that's where I wanted to focus. And I'm just going to kind of lay my press in. Sorry for my head that you're seeing. My apologies. I'll turn it this way so I can actually see it a little better. And I'm just going to kind of slide my tumbler back. The great thing with this, the cradle, is that it's spongy, so it stays. So my print is going to stay where I put it, and then I can just kind of move my tumbler back and forth where I need it to go. Okay. And put that where I need it. Perfect. And then I'm going to go ahead and just get some tape. Kate, if we have any questions at this time, you can go ahead and just shout them out for me. Okay. All right. If this is kind of where you want it, which it is for me, I am going to go ahead and just tape a little piece. And I'm going to show you also what I've been doing, which I find is quite helpful. I'm going to take it off the cradle for now, because what I do is I take my roll, and I don't have it on, I've lost the edge. Here we go. I usually have it on the tape roll, the dispenser, but I found that if I don't do it and I kind of start my tape and sort of go around and pull the tape, I get it nice and tight on my tumbler and on my paper. And that way, I know that it's nice and secure. And I'll do it for this top part too. So although the tape dispenser is really good, for tumblers, I find it's just a little bit easier to just go ahead and pull it off that roll, off that dispenser. Do you have to tape it all the way around? You probably don't. But I feel that whenever I'm doing a more expensive tumbler, which this is, I don't want to mess it up, and I don't want it to be one of those things where I wish that if I just would have taped it, it would have been better. So I like to securely tape. But since my design is more of a fade at the bottom, which I'll show you here, it's more of a fade at the bottom, it's not going to really matter if I didn't tape so tight, but I personally like to tape my designs really tight. Oh, that's so loud, sorry. Okay, so this part of the design is ready to go, and then I'm going to do the bottom part. And for this one, I'm going to go pretty much right to the design.
So you'll probably want to put the bottom part on while the cup is cool.
Yes.
Or if you print the top, wait for the cup to cool down before taping the bottom.
That's a very good point. This bottom part will not be in the tumbler press. So it will be fine sitting on here. Okay. Now I'm going to put my seam where the seam is here. And I'm going to have it go close to the edge, but not all the way off. All right, let me get a piece of tape. And for this one, I am going to do the top and the bottom so that it's nice and secure, because it is on the smaller section of the tumbler, and it's kind of, these are straight at the bottom, they're not tapered, but just to have that extra security, I kind of like to tape it there. Okay.
Yeah, it's a little bit of overlap on that bottom, right?
Yep, I do have some overlap. And I'm gonna go ahead and get it. So I taped a part of it on here so that way I can't slide it around because you don't want that. And then we're gonna go ahead and do the same technique that we did above, which is just kind of pulling your tape and wrapping as you go. Okay. All right, that one's done. And since this is a seam, you want to kind of, I don't want to say double tape it, but double tape it. We're just going to go and pull this all the way, and then you want to kind of press your finger into it so that way you don't get any kind of ghosting or hazing in that section. You want it to be nice and clean.
Steve suggests next time maybe have both the dispenser and your
Oh, yeah.
roll of tape.
There you go. Steve's a step ahead of me. Okay. And also, I find when you do this, you can feel and you can tell if you get like a ripple in your paper, if you're, tight enough on the bottom. So that's a good way to know too if you're going to have any issues. All right. We're ready to print. All right, everything's secure. We're good to go. We're going to go over to our mug press. I have this extended all the way. So I have my screws all the way out. It's a big tumbler. It's very wide. So I'm going to put this one in just to kind of show you, it's always best to do the tumbler that you're not printing. Go ahead and stick that in. Check your pressure. I'm going to increase my pressure just a little bit. I feel like it could be just a little tighter. Okay, I like that better. All right, so now that that's good, we're going to go ahead and slide this in. And you're going to push it all the way over to your little pegs here and high enough. Perfect. We are at 360 for 100 seconds. We're going to let this go through, and then we're going to rotate it the other way to get the other print the other side. And then we'll turn it around. We'll close it all up and then turn it around for that bottom half. So you'll kind of get the whole item printed with just the standard. This is the 20 to 30 ounce skinny tumbler heating element. All right, any questions?
Can this be done in the oven?
It can be done in the oven, but keep in mind you have to take the handle off for the oven because it's plastic. But as soon as you take that handle off, you can go ahead and put it in the oven and it will print beautifully.
Question, can this be done on an HPN mug and tumbler press?
I'm not sure their
Style press?
the heating element that they offer. As long as, if you can print a 20 ounce, you could probably print this style. So that I'm not too sure about. You might want to just double check with them to see if the width of this tumbler is okay. And the diameter of the tumbler is, wow, right there it's a little under 4. So 3 7/8 is your diameter. So you just want to double check with them to see if it can do it. All right, 6 seconds. And as Kate reminded me, get your glove on. Very important. All right, so I'm going to open it and I'm just going to rotate it. Now we're going to do the other side. Keep it in the press just the same way, but we're going to get this. I went a little too far over there. There we go. All right, another 100 seconds. This side is all done, so that will look amazing when I pull off the paper. Fingers crossed. All right, any other questions?
Someone does do the 20 ounce in HPN.
Okay.
So no, but no.
Oh, yes. So this tumbler cradle, it can do any kind of product. So any kind of drinkware or anything that you need to like stay kind of still. And the great thing about this is you just pull up these two pieces and you can make it taller. So it can do sizes from a little shot glass, which will fit right in here, all the way down to like these large tumblers just by pulling and separating these little kind of grids that you see on the side here. I don't know what they're called, the bars. I don't know if that's really the technical term for them, but that's what I'm going to call it. And another great thing about these is that it also has measurements. So if you're doing, this tumbler, but it has to be, 2 inches down or design has to be a certain spot, you can set it up so all of your tumblers in that series will be lined up the same way on your measurements. So really very, very handy. I know I struggle a lot, even when you're doing not necessarily sublimation, but if you're doing sign vinyl and it has to be in a certain spot on a mug and you want it to be consistent throughout, this is really quite handy. So if you don't have one of these, super helpful. It is in the sublimation accessories section. And again, I don't have my glove on. All right, we're gonna open that up and we're gonna take off the design. You got my aerial view there, Kate? Perfect. My tape wants to just hang on here. There we go. So pretty. Amazing. And this bottom part isn't even that hot, so looks so good. Oh, sorry. A little too high. But look how great that turned out. Very, very nice. Okay, so let's go ahead and get it set for the bottom half. So you gotta get your arms ready, get your wrists ready. We're going all the way in. Turn your knobs all the way. Almost all the way. I think you kind of leave like an inch. This is probably gonna be a pretty long part, so go ahead, any questions? Oh no, ask questions. We don't want to sit here for, a couple minutes while I twist.
We can do some shout outs. We have Yvette, Annette, Jackie, Lori, Jackie and Ashley.
Hey everybody.
Aaron, Stacy, Linda, Terry.
All right, so for everyone watching, are you obsessed with this style tumbler? Do you have this style tumbler at home with another logo potentially on it that will remain nameless because I don't think I'm allowed to say it? And were you one of those people in Target that totally sold them out in 0.2 minutes, I think? Is that? All right, so we're just gonna test, see if I'm tight enough. I'm not. We're gonna keep going. I know my niece now carries around a tumbler, so she was very excited when I told her that I could make her own version, personalize it the way she wants it. Okay, that's almost there. I'm gonna tighten just a little bit more. I just like to get some extra pressure. That should do it. Wonderful. All right, let's print the bottom half. This is pretty hot still, so, don't be like me. Use a glove. All right, I'm gonna rotate it so that my seam is not up in the middle. I don't want it. I want my seam to be double pressed. So we're gonna rotate it just so that the seam is covered. And we're gonna push it all the way up to as far as we can without hitting that curve of the tumbler. All right, any other questions?
How do you know when it's tight enough?
You feel it. It's like a resistance when you close it. Like if you close it and it feels kind of loose still, or it's like, no, that's kind of easy, then increase it a little bit more. If you close it and you're like, ooh, I had some resistance there, I kind of felt it sort of tug or kind of pause when I closed it, that's the kind of pressure that you want. Because these heating elements are pretty cushiony. I don't know, Kate, if you can you see right in there? See, not really.
You have the other one down there.
Oh,
Standard.
that could help me. So they're kind of squishy and cushiony, so it'll give, and that's okay. we want it to kind of give for these to sort of get that right pressure. So if it doesn't close, that's way too much pressure. But if you can close it and have some resistance and sort of really hold it snug, that's the one you want. Because it will only help with ghosting and to lessen that sort of hazing that you might get. All right, we have 15 more seconds to go.
So do we have an element for this size tumbler compatible with the original Trans Pro 3-in-1? So yes.
You know, I haven't tested it. All right, so we're gonna open this and we're gonna rotate it this way. Wait, which way? That was not printed, so I want that to be printed. Okay, sorry, that was a moment, but we're good. All right, and close it back up. We have a 20-ounce skinny, and I'm pretty sure it will press and work in that tumbler press, but I have not tested it yet. And I don't see a press. I'm just looking through the room right now. I don't see one of our presses for me to try, but I will figure it out for you and let you know. And we'll also include it within the instructions of the product, what press to use, what heating element, and then obviously if it can do the 3-in-1, we'll mention that and the heating element that it needs. So we'll include that all in the description as soon as we kind of figure it all out for you. These are fairly new tumblers, so we wanted to kind of put it out there, let you know that yes, indeed, you can press it, and we'll check on that, the 3-in-1 press that we have.
Sue's asking, so these don't need to be coated. You can pick any white or light color tumbler.
No, these are coated for sublimation. They have a polymer coating on them. We get them. They're part of our sublimation blank product line. So yes, you do need a pre-coated mug for this. So all of our products in our sublimation blanks already contain the coating. So it's ready for you to just go ahead and print on. But you can't just pull one off the shelf and go and, you know, print it from any other store. You have to have a coated surface.
Do you know how well these tumblers keep liquids hot or cold?
Well, it's double wall insulated. So it would be a lengthy amount of time. I have not personally tried it, but knowing that, you know, the double walled insulated, you should be pretty good to go.
For me, it's 6 to 8 hours. So.
Okay. Oh, I think I wrapped this one first. It's like, which tape did I put on and when? Right, I'm not having any luck with tape today. It is hot. Don't let this fool you. When you've lost feeling in the one hand, you go to the other, right? There we go. This tape didn't do it to me at all, ever. All right, it's all right. That's hot up there. Don't touch there, Danielle. There we go. Woo! That was a struggle right there. All right. There we go. But this way. Sorry, you want to see that. Gorgeous. All right. Very nice. Printed very pretty. Really nicely done. Look, and again, this was, if you're interested in this design, this was found at Etsy. So, you know, go there, just again, type in 40-ounce tumbler wraps. You get so many options. Okay, do we have any other questions?
No.
All right, so if you don't have this tumbler and you need one, like I do, which I'm gonna go fill this one up, and I'll keep you posted as well. It says things, how it keeps things hot or cold. Can't talk today. And we'll definitely post about using the 3-in-1 mug press. We'll do a test for that to make sure that we can, which I don't see why not, but I don't want to say yes or no just yet. but I'll post it into the video after we're all done. I'll make a comment. And if you want to send us an email, if you do have that 3-in-1 mug press and want an immediate answer, we'll go ahead and test that and send that over to you. So service@proworldinc.com, send us that email and we'll reply back and let you know personally. All right, I think we're good. All right, well, thank you all so very much for watching, and we will see you here next time. Bye, everybody.